Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are in this amazing world. My name is ETHBTC, and welcome everybody once again for another amazing video of DIY investing. For today's video, we're going to be diving into the price chart of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Right now, we're seeing a big turnaround inside of the altcoin market, where altcoins are now starting to outperform Bitcoin, which is to be expected in the tail end part of the cycle. The Ethereum price chart is showing that we could experience a little bit of a correction, a short-term correction, anything major, that will provide a great opportunity for us to get back into new positions and then look to target the new all-time highs. On top of that, we're also going to be diving into the Ethereum BTC pair. We're going to be looking at one of the most accumulated charts that I have ever seen, years of accumulation that is showing that we are going to be seeing some major outperformance and the biggest alt season that we have ever had in this cycle. If you're new and just finding this channel, always remember to do me a favor by leaving a like, comment, and subscribing to this channel for more updates. Always remember to click that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of these amazing videos like the one provided for you here. And make sure you guys sign up and join the Discord server of over 21,000 members are growing. Links are provided for you in the description for the people that want to sign up, join my community, and share your own thoughts on the market. On top of that, if you're new and you want some extra educational content to help you guys be more profitable and make better decisions with your finances, I have a link inside of the description for my free ebook and beginner's guide that I know is going to help you guys out tremendously because it really helped me out in the same process. So go check it out. Links are provided for you in the description. And with all that being said, guys, let's jump right into this amazing video today. Alrighty guys, so starting things off, we're going to take a look at Bitcoin. We're going to cover some thoughts here, analyze some basic price action that I see, because it's really important that we know exactly what's going to be happening on the shorter time frames so the people that are waiting to find positions can know when the proper time to enter is. Now, I'll be honest guys, I still think that overall this is still really undervalued in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, $45,000 Bitcoin's expensive to most people, but at the end of the day, when we see this thing over 200K, it's not going to be that way. A $50,000 Bitcoin is going to look like a great buy opportunity in hindsight when we're looking at later down the line and Bitcoin's at over 200,000. My target for Bitcoin's been 250K. And so every opportunity that we get to jump into new positions, for me, I'm not buying Bitcoin, I'm buying altcoins because I believe that that's where the golden opportunity is. But nonetheless, there's still a lot of people out there that are still, buying Bitcoin, still accumulating, because at the end of the day, guys, there's still going to be a lot more profit potential still to come. Now, one of the things I want to talk to you guys about is really just my entry box, where I'm looking for Bitcoin to actually end up falling to. Because in my other videos, really a level that we were watching for was this level here at about 48K. And this is literally where I said to watch for a rejection. It's probably not going to happen in the first move. It's most likely that we're not going to break out of that in the first big swipe. We would most likely need a little bit of a pullback before we ultimately break that level. Now, in my opinion, the next move that's coming for Bitcoin is going to be a move back down here. And we're going to be targeting 42,000 to all the way down here to 40,000. Inside of this range is personally where I would be looking to target for an entry. And this is where I believe that support will end up holding. Now, when this happens, guys, when we start getting this pullback from the high to approximately, if we go to the low, it'll be about 16%. If we go to the high, it'll be about 12%. But regardless, I fully expect that once this dip starts happening, I honestly think that a lot of people are going to be screaming bear market. A lot of these traders that have pretty much just been bearish all the way through here and won't adjust their bias now that the prices are going up, they're going to be sitting here saying, oh, this is a lower high, this is a dead cat bounce. The next move is going to start the new bear cycle, and it's going to do something like this, right? This is what I fully expect to have happen, because at the end of the day, guys, most of these people have no idea how to trade a cycle. They don't know four-year cycle theory. They don't understand how much data actually backs up that this is still the very early stages of the bull run. Because when we take a look to zoom out, every cycle we have this exact same thing where we're below the all-time highs, we start accumulating, going sideways, and then finally we blow past those all-time highs into price discovery, right? We always have a pullback after that first break of the all-time highs. That pullback has never once, in all of the price history of Bitcoin, has never once fell all the way back down and retested the all-time high, let alone started a new bear market. This would be a failure of a 10-year trend plus. This would be, something that has never happened before. And the people that are exclaiming that, and the people that are claiming that this is bearish are just simply, they don't really fully understand the cycles, and that's fine. Most people don't. And that's why I always remind people, out of all of the people that are investing into a market, maybe 20% of those are profitable, maybe. The biggest majority of people aren't profitable and they aren't making money. There's very few people even less people that can actually hold from the lows and sell near the peak of the cycle. And that's something that most people are going to sell too early. We've already seen it thus far. I've already seen a lot of different people really bearish throughout this entire period, calling for a new bear market, failing to adjust their bias now that the prices are going back up. And so you guys need to spot these people, understand that they don't know what they're talking about, and we need to look to buy all dips heading up until the end of the year. That's when you really wanted to get out of the market. That's when the market's going to be overvalued. That's when it's going to be topping. But at the end of the day, guys, Bitcoin hasn't even broke 100K yet. This is still very early. And so really what I'm watching for personally, we hit the first target at 48K. Now, where we're at today, we're pulling back. And this, in my opinion, is going to be bearish divergence that ultimately comes to fruition. We can see on the shorter time frames that this is kind of a rounding top formation. It looks a lot like what we saw over here. And I believe that we're going to get a pullback from here. Do I think that that's going to lead to a new low bear market starting? No, of course not. I just think it's going to be a short-term pullback, retesting a previous resistance level, now acting as support. We'll flip this level, and then we'll be heading upwards of about 60K next. That's personally what I'm going to be watching out for with Bitcoin. This to me just looks like it's going to end up falling a little bit. Nothing too crazy, but it'll be a good opportunity for the people that have been kind of waiting to get in or wondering when they can get in on a decent dip. This will probably be that dip. And that's just what I'm going to be watching for. Now, if we come over here and take a look at Ethereum, it's kind of the same story, but I have two different support levels drawn. Now, the first one that I'm going to be watching for is here at about 29,000 approximately. The specific target of this line is 2,888. That's going to be the first level that I'm personally going to be watching for. And if it's the most bullish scenario, we'd basically bounce off of this, and then we'd start going up again as we would go, upwards of about $4,100. If we end up coming and dropping a little bit more bearish, I would expect a retest of this level, short-term bounce, and then we'd go for one more low, and that final low would take us down to about $2,600. We can see that there's just a load of bearish divergence. You don't normally see this type of price action and then it break bullish. I mean, it's possible and it does happen, but this to me looks a lot like what we saw with Bitcoin at 65K when it kind of rounded out at the top and then sold off. And so that's really what I'm going to be watching for to play out once again. And so in Ethereum, from the highs of the move down, that would be about 21% dip if we come all the way down to 2,600. It'd probably be about a half as much, maybe 12%, about 13% down here to the first target at 2,888. And so this is really what I'm going to be watching out for personally. It's going to be a little bit of a correction. That's what I'm going to be leaning my bias towards, but I don't think it's going to be anything too crazy. It's just going to provide us a good opportunity to get back into the market, play some of these altcoins that we've seen take off really well, outperform the market. Those ones are going to dip, and those are really the ones where you want to put your money into because those show strength. Those have done the best inside of this run up, and then on top of that, in the dip, that's getting a little bit of a discount on being able to accumulate more of those. And so you want to compound those gains. Whatever you see doing well in your portfolio, it's a good opportunity to jump back into some of those, re-add, reinvest, and ultimately look to hold long-term, end of the year type timeframes, right? And so really, guys, this is what I was thinking about with Ethereum. Now let's remove our drawing tools. Let's go to a log scale. And let's cover some thoughts here that have to do with the cycles, the 4-year cycles, right? And a lot of people have been asking me, where should we expect to see altcoins top out? I talked about Bitcoin where I would be selling Bitcoin, but I never really talked about the altcoins that much in my 4-year cycle video. And so I figured it would be a good opportunity to actually cover Ethereum, talk about some thoughts here. And let's actually go over here to the Poloniex chart because this is the only one that shows the entire price history of Ethereum. And so we're going to take a look and analyze the 4-year cycle, and we're just going to simply start from the high and the low of this most recent one, because this is the first cycle Ethereum had, right? We start in 2015, we have the whole bull run, We peak in 2018, and then we bottom the beginning of 2019. And so we're going to put our 2 points right there because that's really where we need to know for this coming cycle top. So Ethereum pretty much topped here at about, 1st of January, approximately first week of January. And then we ended up bottoming down here at about, the first week of December. So almost exactly 1 year inside of this bear market, which is what I've always told you guys about. Bear markets historically last about a year. Sometimes they can be slightly more, sometimes slightly less, but right around 11 to 13 months is where we've historically seen bear markets last, right around that year-long threshold. And so if you knew this, you could simply get in at about the very best 90% of the market, and you'd be out of the market in the top 90%, and then you'd be in the market at the top 90%. You don't have to be the top 100. You don't have to nail the exact bottom and high. But if you're within that 90 to 80% threshold, even 70%, you're still going to be doing really, really well. And so we're going to take this chart, and we're just simply going to fractal these patterns out and understand where we should be targeting for a cycle top and a bottom. So first things first, let's take a look at the top. Let's get our date tool up here. Now, how long is 4 years based off of days? It's about 1,450 days. So if we come 1,450 days in advance, that's going to take us over here, and we're going to draw another line right there, and that's going to be, about the very end of December. That's where we're supposed to be targeting a cycle top for Ethereum, the very end of December. Now, if we do the exact same thing again here at the low, where should we be targeting a cycle bottom for the bear market? Well, we should be targeting it right here, which is going to be about the end of November. And so, these are going to vary. It really just depends. We could see this, bottom January. We could see it bottom sometime in December. But it's not so important that you know the exact day. There is no exact date. These are going to vary a little bit. Just like we saw here, Ethereum had about 11 months of a bear market. Whereas if we compare that to Bitcoin in its bear cycle in 2014, basically Bitcoin had a 13-month bear market. And so you're going to have this variance. It's not always going to be exactly 1 year, but you don't need to be 100% correct on that. I mean, you would have been happy starting to accumulate Ethereum down here at $200. And then when it went for that final sell-off, you would have known that, hey, this is coming close to those time frames. I need to buy more. And when it's already down, 80+%, you can't really go wrong buying that. And so the 2 little things that I think you guys should watch out for when it comes to accumulating inside of that bear market, the very end of 2022 to the beginning of 2023 is when we're going to be looking to average back into new positions inside of the altcoin space. Bitcoin, same thing, the beginning of 2023, right around that same time frame. What we need to watch out for really is, in my opinion, at least an 80% sell-off from the all-time highs. And a lot of people are saying, oh, well, Bitcoin, there's institutional money in it. Bitcoin's never going to have the same type of a correction. But that's just simply not true because at the end of the day, guys, these institutions are going to sell. They're going to take their profits. The idea that institutions have only been buying over the last, year is false. They accumulated from 20,000 down to 3,200. And from 3,200 pretty much to the all-time highs. That's where the majority of those institutions accumulated. So they've been accumulating for years and years, 3 years inside of this 4-year cycle. The idea that they've only been accumulating in this last year just because they finally made it public, that's not true. They've become public and let everybody know that they're accumulating after they had already accumulated because now retail gets excited. Oh, Elon Musk buys and holds Bitcoin. All of these other institutions are holding Bitcoin. It's not that they just started holding it. They've been holding it for a while. The funny thing is now they're just letting you guys know so that everybody gets excited and drives the prices way up so that they can have exit liquidity. This is the way that the market cycles work. And so the idea that these institutions are just going to hold forever is false. Yes, there will be some, but institutions aren't idiots. They like to take their profits. Bitcoin's gone up so much, why would you not take your profits? The only people that aren't going to take their profits are retail investors that basically buy into all of this FUD, all of this nonsense that isn't real, not even logical in the slightest. Those are the people that are going to never take profits, hold all of those profits back down into losses, panic sell the bottom, and then restart the cycle back over again if they don't already just get out of the market entirely, because that happens often. And so, really, guys, we need to be targeting about, beginning of December to end of December. That's where the time frames stack up for Ethereum. You know, for me, I'm going to end up taking profits on my Bitcoin and altcoins around the same times. I don't care so much about the lagginess. You know, I've made so much money off of this 4-year cycle that it literally doesn't matter. It's pennies at that point. Yes, if I miss out on a few 100%, that adds up quickly when you have a lot of money. But it doesn't matter. You know, what I started with at the very beginning of this cycle is absolutely nothing compared to what I have now. I'm thankful for what I have, and I don't need to get too greedy when it comes to actually, you know, holding on to this. I've been so greedy with holding on to this cycle. Now that we're approaching the final months, I'm going to get greedy and happy to sell. And so I'm going to flip my perspective a little bit. And then, you know, I'll have that big cash pile. I have all of this extra opportunity that come the beginning of, or I should say the end of this coming bear market, the end of 2022, beginning of 2023. That's when we want to be ready with a large cash pile that we can buy back into these markets and then hold for another 4 years of that cycle. And this is really my plan for Ethereum. But as it stands right now, guys, you know, we still have a blow off top here. We still have this entire move up to go. I don't know exactly how high it's going to go. You guys know my target's been 20K, so that's really what I'm going to be sticking to. I think that we're going to get one big glorious blow off top to close out the year, close out this bull run, and that's what we need to be focusing on. Now, one final chart before we wrap up today's video is actually the ETH-BTC pair, and this is why I'm so much more confident in the altcoins. You know, we've made great profit off of Bitcoin if you've been holding it for a long time, but regardless, guys, at the latter end of the cycle, it's always the altcoins' turn to shine because all of the new money that's coming in here, they don't care about Bitcoin. No retail investor that only has, you know, maybe $1,000 or $5,000 or even maybe $500, who knows? All of these retail investors that are coming in here, they don't have the big bucks like the institutions do. They can't just go out and buy multiple Bitcoin. Nor do they want to buy multiple Bitcoin. It's worth almost $50,000. They're sitting there thinking to themselves, man, where's that next golden opportunity? Where's the next Bitcoin in the market? Ethereum, you know, it's worth kind of a lot. I might stay away from that one, you know, but Ethereum Classic, you know, this one is basically the same as Ethereum, but it's worth a lot less. I'm going to buy that. Or they see Dogecoin. Oh, wow, 33 cents. Elon Musk holds it. It's definitely going to go up to $1,000. This is the type of thought process that goes through a retail investor's head. They're not going to be buying Bitcoin. They're going to be buying altcoins. And I think that this chart perfectly shows that exact sentiment. What we see here in ETH, this was the last cycle. And then we had our big correction. Now, this correction is just your classic example of an ABC. A, B, C. We got 5 impulse waves down in that C leg, which is what we wanted to see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? So this is a completed correction. We completed that correction a long time ago. And that's really when I started buying, was all the way back down in here, all the way down throughout this period. I've been accumulating ETH. And now we're starting to see, you know, ETH's been uptrending against Bitcoin since, you know, 2019. We've been uptrending, higher highs, higher lows, and it was this most recent move here in which we finally made a breakout from that range. Now, where ETH is at right now is we've actually flipped this major level. This was resistance here, it was support here, bounced off of it here, resistance throughout this period, support here, and it was pretty much below this that we were accumulating throughout all of that 2.5 years. Now, ETH, for the first time ever, has broken past this level. It's flipped it as support, and we're literally getting continuation from that point. And so I fully expect that ETH is going to continue uptrending, and we don't really have another resistance until at least 0.1, and we could even make the argument all the way up here at 0.123. And when it comes down to this point, we've been literally accumulating sideways for like 2 years, guys. This is a long period of accumulation here, a long period. Now that we just had our first breakout from that move, we should be targeting pretty much just new all-time highs. Because like I stated, guys, you don't want to be selling at the all-time highs. This is the old cycle. This was when Ethereum was worth practically nothing. You know, think about how expensive ETH is right now compared to what it was at. We have 2 years worth of rounded bottom accumulation, really 2.5, depending on, you know, where you draw it from. And now this is the first breakout, the first major move in this parabolic cycle. I fully expect that we're going to go very parabolic. You guys know, if you've been watching my channel for a long time, my personal target for where I saw ETH was 0.3. I truly believe that we could see ETH at about a 0.3. I believe that ETH is going to flip Bitcoin's market cap in this cycle, and it only makes sense to. Think about how much new development, how much new infrastructure ETH has created for the crypto space, whereas Bitcoin, you know, its overall network, effect and the amount of new users using its network has actually dropped this cycle. You would think that it would have went up, but it hasn't. And that reason is because people are using and opting out of using Bitcoin, and they're using altcoins. They're using Ethereum, because now with Ethereum, we can build our own cryptocurrencies. We can issue smart contracts. We can use DeFi. We can use NFTs. All of this stuff is literally way more useful than anything Bitcoin does. Bitcoin is literally a store of value. That is it. It's too slow to be a global payment system aside from a store of value. So it's going to be like gold. Now, in my opinion, Ethereum is much more valuable, because think about all of the utility that Ethereum brings with DeFi, with NFTs, with dApps, with smart contracts, all of this fun stuff that is literally how all of this new infrastructure is getting built. It's all being done through Ethereum. And now that we have ETH being burned up because of EIP 1559, that's only going to create further supply crisis that drives the price higher. And I believe it's a perfect catalyst coming for this end of the year blow off top, and why I personally believe the ETHBTC is going to flip, go to a 0.3 pairing, but also ETH is going to flip Bitcoin in market cap. I don't expect that to be last for a long time. I would think that in the bear market, they end up balancing back out. Long term, I always foresee ETH having a higher market cap, though. That's just my thoughts. That's my perspective. It doesn't make sense for Bitcoin to continue to have the highest market cap of all, because there really isn't a whole lot of utility with Bitcoin. There's more utility behind ETH. There's more utility behind other cryptos. Now, even though I'm not really going to make the case that other cryptos are going to flip Bitcoin, right now it's just ETH, and we've yet to even see ETH do that. In the last cycle, ETH was pretty close to doing that. When it peaked at $1,450, it got really close to flipping Bitcoin in market cap. And so now this is the cycle where I believe it finally happens, and we're seeing the very beginning of that. This is a massive accumulation pattern. This is the first breakout. In my opinion, we're going to see some crazy gains over the next couple months. 4 months left in the cycle. We're going to see the most profit being made in this cycle. And as long as you guys are prepared beforehand and are willing to hold through that, you guys are literally setting yourself up for some financial opportunity beyond all of your wildest dreams. So many of you guys have already surpassed your goals. Now you're going to fully be able to cement this, solidify it. And as long as you take profits, as long as you hold until the end and then take profits, you guys are going to be set. And I'm excited to see that happen for you. So anyways, guys, if you found value in this, leave a like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of these amazing videos. If you guys would like to join the Discord server or download my free ebook, links are going to be provided for you in the description for that. For the people that would like to join my signals, sign up for all of my VIP content, get all of this insider access to the charts, to the signals, and everything else in between. I have a link in the description to go ahead and join from my website. I appreciate each and every one of you so much, and I look forward to seeing what you guys are able to create of this cycle. I know it's changed my life. I've seen many other people, its life's changed as well, and I just want to see that happen to the majority of the community out there. The people that are willing to listen, have patience, and convict, and stick to a conviction, those are the people that are going to be, ultimately making all of that life-changing opportunity. And I'm just thankful to have you guys a part of this journey with me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and with that being said, I'll catch you in the next one. As always, peace out.